Hari Om, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Sound okay?
Yes, I on.
Good, lovely to see you all. So, as much as you can, keep your camera on for the sadhana so we can see you and keep a check on you. And just a little idea that if you feel to share, please do. And if you feel shy, don't be shy. We're here to learn and to grow together. So, if you do want to share, please be brave. So, this is our second week of our yoga and happiness with me and Swami Vijay Shakti, who's sitting there smiling. And today we're going to explore why. Why choose happiness? Why focus on happiness? So, that is our topic for today and how we're going to explore happiness today. We will be continuing with our mantra sadhana. We will be continuing with our swadhyay or our self-study. And of course, we will be doing some discussion and sharing of ideas and concepts on why choose happiness. So please get ready to begin. Sit comfortably. Adjust your posture. Close the eyes, becoming still. And start by taking a few deep breaths in and out. Shift your awareness now to the physical body. Become aware of your toes and feet. Feel up through your legs. Feel up through your spine, straightening, lengthening the spine. Shoulders are back. Hands resting on the knees in Chinogyan Mudra or in the lap. Be aware of your abdomen and chest. And feel up through your neck and head. Feel down through your face, relaxing the muscles around the eyes, the mouth. Allow the face to be expressionless. Awareness of the whole physical body. And be aware of how the body is feeling today at this time. Take your awareness now to your natural breath, flowing in and out of the nostrils. And connect with the breath. You may notice the inhalation is cooler than the exhalation. And as you focus on the breath, feel yourself becoming more steady, more focused and present right here. As we prepare for this second week of our yoga and happiness sadhana. Exploring and sharing what is happiness and why do we need happiness. Take your awareness now to your eyebrow center and visualize a flame burning brightly. And with your awareness on that flame, we will chant the mantra Om 3 times and the Shanti mantras together. Breathing in. Om. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम् Hari Om Tat Sat. Sit quietly with the eyes closed for a moment. And just for a moment, reflect on this last week where we gave you the challenge of daily morning mantras. And for a moment, reflect on that experience and how it was for you, how you felt the mantras during the day. Were you able to connect to those mantras every morning on waking? These 3 very powerful mantras. And along with the morning mantras, were you able to keep a record in your spiritual diary of that experience? How was that for you? And now externalizing your awareness. And when you feel ready, you can open the eyes, move the body. And this is the part where we'd like to hear from you. If anyone would like to share on their experience of 1 week of morning mantra sadhana and how it was, were you able to record your experiences? Was there difficulty? Anything that you experienced? Yes, Gyan Shakti, turn your mic on.
So I had a good experience with it. I used the generalized mantras to see how it affected my day rather than any specific mantra having an impact. Was that the way we were supposed to do it?
You mean the 3 morning mantras together?
Yes, I just thought, how did the mantras
Yes.
affect my day? Yes,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than Durga mantra doing
No.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
that's
All
good.
3 together. Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Well, it was good. It was, yeah, I mean, I noticed changes, but then on about the 4th day, I questioned and I went, well, is it in fact the mantras doing this?
Yeah, good, good, good.
I know. But things are consistently improving, and I noticed that a number of things were improving. So I thought, well, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Going, find out. Stop for a month and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
Mm.
So
Anyway,
when you say there was an effect, it was a positive, like you felt clearer, you felt
yes,
more positive, you felt
yes,
more relaxed.
more in the present moment. Things were going more smoothly. That was just day one, less anxious. Not that I'm anxious at all, really, but there was this anxiety that drifted, that fell away
Yeah.
just towards the end, which was interesting. Um, yeah, one day I felt that it was less effective, interestingly, and I don't know why that is. But I felt more in control. I
Yeah.
felt more in my power, how I
Mm-hmm.
choose to live, how I choose to think. It was liberating, having a real sense of liberation there. Um,
Great.
yeah, so lots of good things.
Good. Good. Thank you. Anyone else?
I think Philip had his hand up.
Yeah. And Sardinish, oh, one of the Italians. Next, we'll come to you next. Philip,
Hi, thank you. Good evening.
good evening.
Yeah, the effects were subtle, but when I reflected just now, quite monumental. It was a challenge for me because I've been traveling between Spain and I'm back in Sydney. Last week I was in Spain and today I'm in Sydney taking this call. So moving around, not necessarily in a routine. Um, but the accessibility of the mantras and that it didn't need to be perfect, but done was better than perfect. quote unquote. And I think having the freedom and the encouragement, the Duna mantras,
Yeah.
uh, for me, it was going for a walk or outside that was helpful for me as a way to practice. But the real big shift for me was breaking free of a social media addiction in the morning for me as my way of getting dopamine. Like convincing myself this is what I need in order to start getting ready for the day. So treating the mantras as if I was brushing my teeth, just had to be done before I can do anything else, get through the mantras, and then deal with the day. And to think that today, when I reflect that I haven't felt inclined to find the cheap form of dopamine through doom scrolling. Yeah, I think that's really big. That's really big for me. Yeah, because that's something I have struggled with. Um, in recent times, months, years. So yeah, this week that I haven't woken up and gone to reach for that, that's been a really big shift for me. Um, Journaling at the end of the night has been hard because I found myself out of energy before I'd actually stopped because I've been going from morning until night. Um, so that's probably an area that I struggled a bit with the journaling aspect. But upon reflection, it was always, yep, good. And I can feel this subtle shift between mantras. Um, yeah, immediately the pause and the moment in between, I can feel the resonance and vibration doing something subtle to my being.
That's great. And well done on that digital awareness and fasting in the morning. That's fantastic.
Mm.
That is a really, really big thing.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Really
yeah.
big. And if you can replace that with the mantras, that is fantastic.
Big
Mm.
win.
Yeah, big one.
Mm.
Okay. In Italy, Hariom, Hariom.
Hariom. So I will try to do my best with my English. So I would like to thank you for organizing this course because allowed me to attend it, and it couldn't arrive in a best moment for my life because I'm waiting for a very very important changing at the end of this week. And so I felt the strength to live these days waiting for this answer that I'm waiting for many years, many years. So and the special thing is that I felt a very deep joy inside. And even if I didn't understand how it was here, I mean, it's here and it came out now. Thank you to you and the first lesson, I think. And also the mantras at the beginning, it was hard to um, to sing them in the morning because I yawn when I when I sing them and the first and the second day. But then I went to sleep and said, okay, so let's sleep, and tomorrow I wake up and sing the mantras. And this was very, very nice, very supportive, very, very supportive for me. So I would like to thank you, and it's very, very good, very good. Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
it.
That was
Thank you.
yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you. Your
Thank
English
you.
is perfect. Okay. Well, we'll move on, but thank you for those of you who shared that. I'm really happy to hear. And keep those records in your spiritual diary, and we will be working on another challenge this week and different spiritual diary questions. But don't stop the morning mantras. Keep that going. We just wanted to fish you in and get you in with the hook for the first week, but continue with those. And now I'll pass over to Swami Vijay Shakti.
Hurry on. So the question today is, why should we deliberately cultivate happiness or connect with this inner happiness, our natural state of happiness? Is it just a nice feeling? Or is there something much more fundamental here? So I just wanted to share a little bit of research with you today about the effects of happiness, smiling, laughter, and yoga. A review of more than 160 studies found clear evidence that happy people tend to live longer and experience better health than our unhappy self. This is peer-reviewed science. So happiness, in a way, actually saves lives, and it extends our lifespan. It protects us against illness through a better immune response. When we're happy, how we perceive stress is different than when we're unhappy or depressed. Happy people demonstrate more successful adaptation to life's changes and challenges than when we are unhappy. And research published in the National Academy of Sciences found that people with higher levels of optimism had a longer lifespan and a greater chance of living past the age of 85 happily. So we don't just want to live on if we're not happy, but still it does actually increase our engagement with life. It's our lifeline. There was a Harvard study of adult development running for 85 years, and they found that the single greatest predictor of a long, happy, healthy life was not wealth, not fame, not success, but it was the quality of our relationships. I want to talk a little bit more about the relationships in a moment, but this is really important. So positive relationships help us keep us happier, healthier, and help us live longer. And most importantly in all of this is that happiness is not just a personality trait that we're born with. I mean, you can be, for sure, but it's a skill, it's a training, it's a practice, and it means that each one of us here can actually cultivate it and increase it in our life, and that can start with here and now, together in this group sadhana. So I want to talk to you a little bit about smiling because it's a very simple act, but amazingly it has very powerful and profound effects on our inner state as well as the people around us. So Swamiji had always encouraged us to smile at a stranger, but I want to now give you a little bit more of a background of why that's so important. So there was a landmark international study involving nearly 4,000 participants across 19 countries, and they found that voluntarily moving your facial muscles into a smile can both amplify and initiate feelings of happiness. So the body actually leads the mind. Just like when we eat well, we exercise, we sleep well, we actually feel good. And it's the same thing. You just put your face into a smile and it actually increases your feelings of happiness. So, people say fake it till you make it. There's nothing wrong with it. And there's two types of smiles. So this is an important thing to keep in mind when you're smiling. There's something called the Duchenne smile. And in the Duchenne smile, the eyes also smile. So you get these little crow's feet here. And that's the real smile, the genuine smile. And then there's the sort of not exactly, it's a little bit of a voluntary social smile. And that's the social, we smile with the mouth, but the eyes remain stationary. So when you're practicing your smiling, remember the eyes should be involved, and that will increase how your own experience of happiness. And what's interesting is that smiling makes us feel happier. Scowling, so like that, makes us feel angrier, and frowning makes us feel sadder. I mean, they found this in studies. So the face and brain are in constant conversation, okay? And smiling is contagious. So when you smile at someone, the mirror neurons in their brain fire as if they were smiling too. And then all the smiles ripple outwards. So that's why it's so contagious when you see someone smile. It triggers the brain. It triggers the neurons in another person's brain. So one thing is that you now have a challenge this week. It's your Naranjan challenge this week will be that daily you have to smile at a stranger with your eyes as well as your mouth, with your whole being. But it doesn't have to be very over the top. Just give them a nice, genuine, gentle smile, a stranger, once a day. Record your findings and please report back to us next week. Now I want to tell you a little bit about laughter also. Prembhav wanted that one on the schedule. So laughter also has really important effects on our body. So there was research published in the Tohoku Journal of Experimental Medicine, and they found that laughter decreases cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and it decreases adrenaline, which is our fight or flight response. It actually brings about the parasympathetic nervous system response and relaxes us, gives us rest, healing, and relaxation. It alters dopamine and serotonin activities, which are the neurotransmitters targeted by antidepressants, which actually make us happy and more balanced. It releases endorphins, which are the body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. And it relaxes muscles for up to 45 minutes after a good laugh. It strengthens the immune system through the nervous system's relaxation response, just as yoga does. And a hearty laugh may decrease blood pressure, help regulate heart rhythm, benefit respiratory function, stimulate circulation, and assist with pain relief. So I think they're pretty good reasons why we would want to be happiness and cultivate happiness. And laughter also improves focus, creativity, and productivity. So it's not that we laugh and we forget all our responsibilities. It actually helps us to do our work and live our lives in a better manner. It brings oxygen to the brain and activates the release of anti-stress hormones. And here is a sobering statistics. Children laugh about 300 times a day, and we as adults laugh about 15 minutes a day, except for the yogis. We laugh more like children. But anyway, so we want to increase this, okay? Increase the laughter. If you feel like laughing, laugh. Don't worry what anybody thinks. It's not a big thing. You should be happy. It's your birthright. And the interesting thing is that somebody developed something called laughter yoga in 1995 in Mumbai. And the core principle is very simple. The body cannot actually distinguish between simulated laughter and genuine laughter. So you just do the laughing for 10 to 15 minutes of the day, and this structured laughing exercises, it triggers the same physiological benefits as spontaneous joy. So, and humour can't always provide that reliably because, you know, some things are funny and some things are just not. So laughter yoga gives you a guaranteed daily dose. But I'm not necessarily, I haven't personally not been to a laughter yoga class. I did go to a laughter club once. I laughed for about 1 hour straight. I have no idea what happened. I just walked in, the facilitator looked at me, and I was gone. I don't know what he did. It's very, very powerful. Anyway, it was a great experience. So if you can get to something like that at any point, go ahead. We'd encourage you. And it's also helps to reduce perceived stress and improve lung cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. So if it can help people going through chemotherapy, imagine what it can do in your daily life. And then yoga works by the same principle of relaxation, all of the yoga practices, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And people talk about the vagus nerve. I had no idea what the vagus nerve was because we don't talk about the vagus nerve in our tradition necessarily. But anyway, it's the main nerve, I found out today, the main nerve associated with the parasympathetic nervous system. And the practices of yoga activate that, making us feel more satisfied, calm, resting, and at peace. And those are the strong feelings which are associated with happiness. Inner happiness we're talking about here, not excitement, not pleasure, but the stable, enduring, positive, healing power of inner happiness. So the more you practice yoga, the better your sleep becomes, the fewer disturbances you experience, and the more restorative your rest actually becomes, due to this effect of impacting our parasympathetic nervous system. And frequent yoga practice is associated with increased positive emotions and life satisfaction, decreased negative emotions and anxiety, improved emotional well-being. And where it was talking about the connection between how important positive relationships are, that was in that Harvard study where they're saying that was the single most important factor in happiness. I just wanted to expand on that concept of relationships. So our concept of relationships in yoga is connection and friendliness with all, compassion to those who are suffering, being glad for those who are doing well and who are virtuous, and ignoring the crooked, because otherwise, if you pay too much attention, that it disturbs your peace. So relationships are not just a one-on-one romantic relationship. Relationship is your relationship with everyone around you, the strangers, the friends, the families, the family members, the workmates, study friends, sangha, environment, animals, nature. And through that positive connection with all of those, in all of those relationships, there's always that fulfillment. You know, there's a massive issue around loneliness. Loneliness is a big issue. But when we have that inner happiness and that positive connection with others and goodwill towards others, loneliness is vanquished. And that is the power of our practice of inner happiness. I want to share that with you and remind everyone now that your challenge for this week will be smiling at a stranger once a day, and at least once a day. And if you can't find any strangers, that's really wonderful. But find someone who you don't have a good relationship with and smile at them every day and record your results and let us know how it goes. Hari Om Tat Sat. I'll be handing over to Swami Prembhav to take you through mantra sadhana.
Thank you. That was really interesting. It made me want to smile the whole time. So we're going to move on to our mantra sadhana. And before we do that, we're going to have a little think about the gunas. And I'm just going to share my screen with you. So why don't I get through this? Oh, did you want to do the diary, Vijay Shakti?
Sure.
Do you want to do that now while we've got the...
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So your spiritual diary questions, which will be emailed to you.
Yeah.
So I'll just read them out so you've got the idea. Did I smile and connect with a stranger or anyone today? How did I cultivate mana prasad or happiness today? How did it affect my mental state or attitude for the day, my emotional state, my connection with others, and my performance and actions? What guna was dominant in my life today, and how did that affect my happiness? And Swami Prembhav will talk to us now about the gunas.
So according to yoga and Samkhya, which is an ancient philosophy of India, The whole of creation, and you'll find this in the Bhagavad Gita, which is another ancient scripture. The whole of nature, including us, is governed by three forces, and they are called the gunas. And they are like qualities or a force or almost a tendency. And these three gunas, some of you probably know this very well. For others, there's three: tamas, rajas, and sattva. So these are the three qualities that affect all of life. As soon as we take birth, we're under the influence of these three gunas. And you can see that the qualities stability, security, safety of tamas, that is that heaviness, that inertia. But we need that. We need all of these. That heaviness, inertia, dullness, when we can't get out of bed in the morning, when our mind is not focused, when we feel a bit heavy, when there's a resistance to do our sadhana, when we go into negative thought or depression, that is that tamasic energy. But we need that for stability, security, or even safety, to make us feel safe. Then we have rajas, which is activity, movement. It's our passions. It's that restless mind. It's tension. It may be an overactive mind. It's overactivity, stress, that up and down of emotions in life. It is also required to give us movement, to get us going. And finally, we have sattva, which is harmony, balance, contentment. That should not say contention, that should say contentment. Clarity, lightness, vitality, awareness, and that positive connection. So these are the three gunas that are influencing us all the time. And for yogis and yogic practitioners, we need to become aware of these in our daily life. And all of yogic practice is taking us towards that sattvic state. Mantras are purifying us. They're calming the mind. They're taking us out of tamas into that sattvic state. So we wanted to make that clear for you as starting to understand how we can observe ourselves on a daily basis also, and use the yogic practices to shift us into that sattvic state. Because that sattvic state gives us access to that mana prasad within us very easily. If we're in a tamasic state, it's a lot more difficult to access that sattvic state. But through our sadhana, we naturally shift into that. All you have to do is chant the mantras. You have to use your rajas to get that movement and that activity of chanting. Like in the morning when you wake from sleep, you're feeling tired, but that rajas comes in and says, okay, chant your mantras. We've got to get out of tamas into rajas. And when we do that, we clear the mind. We get the mind ready for that sattvic state. And we start the day in that way. So that is something for you to just think about also this next week, and to think about how is my energy today? Am I feeling tamasic? Am I feeling ready to go and active to move on, rajasic? Or am I feeling sattvic? I'm already feeling very calm, focused, centered, internalized, aware. They're all within us, and we need all three of them. But ultimately, we want to reach that sattvic state. And that's what the mantras are going to do. So now we're going to move into our mantra sadhana and shift us all into a lovely sattvic awareness. And we're going to start with the Mahamrityunjay mantra. And we're going to chant this as we do in the morning. And this Mahamrityunjay, Gayatri, and the Durga mantra are our happiness mantras. And that is a sadhana that Swami Niranjan has given us to access happiness daily. So it was our first challenge, and it's going to be our weekly sadhana, and for you to continue with this as a morning sadhana too. And we will start this together and chant the 11 rounds together. So sit comfortably, close the eyes. And with the Mahamrityunjay mantra, we make a sankalpa for physical strength, for health, vitality. Feel that in your body now. Feel that health and strength. Getting ready to chant the mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamritat. 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We'll now chant the Gayatri Mantra 11 times. I'm sorry, there's something has happened to my Gayatri Mantra. Oops. 11 times all together, making a sankalpa for mental peace, clarity and wisdom. Begin the chanting now. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We will now chant the 32 names of Durga 3 times all together, and making a sankalpa for overcoming all distress in life, having the strength to face everything that comes our way. All together. Om Durga Durga Tishamani Durga Padvini Varini Durga Machedani Durga Sadhani Durga Nashani Durga Todharini Durga Nihantri Durga Mapaha Durga Magyanada Durga Detya Lokadavanala Durga Ma Loka Durga Ma Atmasvarupini Durga Ma Gaprada Durga Ma Vidya Durga Ma Shrita Durga Ma Jnana Samstana Durga Ma Dhyana Bhasani Durga Moha Durga Maga Durga Mata Swarupani Durga Ma Sura Samhantri Durga Ma Yudhadharini Durga Mangi Durga Mata Durga Mya Durga Meshwari Durga Bhima Durga Bhama Durga Bha Durga Dharini. Om Durga Durga Tishamani Durga Padvini Varini Durga Machedani Durga Sadhani Durga Nashani Durga Todharini Durga Nihantri Durga Mapaha Durga Magyanada Durga Detya Lokadavanala Durga Ma Loka Durga Ma Atmasvarupani Durga Ma Gaprada Durga Ma Vidya Durga Ma Shrita Durga Ma Jnana Samstana Durga Ma Dhyana Bhasani Durga Moha Durga Maga Durga Mata Swarupani Durga Ma Sura Samhantri Durga Ma Yudhadharini Durga Mangi Durga Mata Durga Mya Durga Meshwari Durga Bhima Durga Bhama Durga Bha Durga Dharini. Om Durga Durga Tishamani Durga Padvini Varini Durga Machedani Durga Sadhani Durga Nashani Durga Todharini Durga Nihantri Durga Mapaha Durga Magyanada Durga Detya Lokadavanala Durga Ma Loka Durga Ma Atmasvarupani Durga Ma Gaprada Durga Ma Vidya Durga Ma Shrita Durga Ma Jnana Samstana Durga Ma Dhyana Bhasani Durga Moha Durga Maga Durga Mata Swarupani Durga Ma Sura Samhantri Durga Ma Yudhadharini Durga Mangi Durga Mata Durga Mya Durga Meshwari Durga Bhima Durga Bhama Durga Bha Durga Dharini. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Sitting quietly for a moment and feeling the vibrations of these three very powerful mantras, our daily happiness mantras. Connecting us to that sattvic quality, that sattvic tendency within us. Now we're going to, we're going to have a bit of fun now. We're going to sing along with a beat. Drums, rhythm, and beats are very important for humans. Since time immemorial, we have been using rhythm and beats and dance to awaken our natural happiness. And today we're going to do the Hanuman Chalisa. Some of you will not know this mantra, and it may seem really daunting just to look at a page of words like this. If that is the case, all I want you to do today is let the rhythm come, listen to my voice, and follow along the words. And whatever you feel to come out, let that come out. Don't try and read it and get every word exact. Sing along whatever you can. Sing along with the rhythm. Bang your leg, clap your hands, just feel the beat. I've put a couple of different Indian drums together. So it's a bit of an experiment. We've never done this before online, so bear with me, and I hope it works nicely. So here we go. I'm going to start the drum. We'll do the doha repeated with the drum. It'll be the same beat the whole way through. I'm not going to play harmonium. It's just going to be voice and drum. So I hope, if anything, it makes you smile, because it's really good for us to smile. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nija Manu Mukuru Sudhari Varano Raghupara Bimala Jasu Jodaya Kufalachari Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nija Manu Mukuru Sudhari Varano Raghupara Bimala Jasu Jodaya Kufalachari Buddhihina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Pitya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kale Sabikar Buddhihina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Pitya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kale Sabikar Siyavara Ramachandra Shankara Hariyam Jaya Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapi Satihu Loka Ujagar Ramaduta Atulita Bhaladama Anjani Putra Bhavana Sutanama Mahavira Vikrama Bajarangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Badana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hata Bajwa Odvajara Viraje Kande Muja Jane Usaje Sankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratapa Mahajagabandan Vidyavana Kuniyati Chatu Rama Kaja Karibeko Atu Prabhu Charitra Sunibeko Rasiya Rama Lashana Sita Manavasiya Sukshma Rupa Darisiya Hidikava Vikata Rupa Dari Lanka Jarava Bhima Rupa Dari Asura Sahare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Savare Laya Sajivana Lakana Jiyaye Shri Raghubira Harashi Uralai Raghupati Kini Bahuta Barai Tuma Mama Priya Bharatahi Samabai Sahasavadana Tumaro Jasagave Asakahi Shri Pati Kanta Lagave Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Nada Sada Sahita Ahisa Jamakubeda Dikapala Jahante Kabiko Bida Kahisa Ke Kahante Tuma Upakada Sugriva Hikina Rama Milaya Raja Paradina Tumaro Mantra Vibhishana Mana Lanke Swaya Bhaya Sabha Jagajana Juka Sahasra Jojana Parapanu Lidyo Tahi Madura Falajanu Prabhu Mutrika Meli Mukamahi Jaladi Langi Ke Achara Janahi Durga Makaja Jekate Kejete Sugama Anugraha Tumare Tete Rama Duhare Tumarakabare Hotana Agya Binu Pesare Saba Sukha Lahe Tumari Sharana Tumarakshaka Kahu Kodarana Arpana Teja Samaro Ape Tino Loka Hankate Kape Bhuta Pisacha Nikatana Hiave Mahavira Jabanama Sunave Nasero Gahare Sabapira Japatani Rantana Hanumatabira Sankatate Hanumana Churave Manakrama Bhajana Jnana Jolave Sabaparama Tapasvi Raja Dinake Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manorata Joko Ilave Sovi Amita Jivana Falapave Charo Juga Paratapa Tumara He Parasita Jagata Ujiyara Sadhu Santa Ke Tumara Kabare Asurane Kandana Rama Turare Ashta Siddhi No Nidhi Ke Data Asabaradina Janaki Mata Rama Rasayana Tumare Pasa Sadara Ho Raghupati Ke Dasa Tumare Bhajana Rama Ko Pave Janama Janama Ke Dukha Bisarave Antakala Raghupara Pura Jahi Jaha Janma Hari Bhakta Kahai Ora Devata Chittana Tarahi Hanumata Sehi Sarva Sukha Karahi Sankata Kate Mite Sabapira Jo Sumere Hanumata Balabira Jai 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 Hanumana Kasai Kripa Karahu Guru Deva Kinai Jo Satabara Parta Karakohi Jutahi Bandi Mahasukha Hoi Joya Pare Hanumana Chalisa Hoya Siddhi Saki Gorisa Tulasi Dasa Sada Harichera Ki Jainata Hridaya Mahadera Pavanatanaya Sankata Harana Mangala Muratiru Rama Lakana Sita Sahita Hridaya Basahu Surabu Siyavara Ramachandra Shankara Hari Om. Sit quietly for a moment and feeling into the vibrations of the Hanuman Chalisa, which is a very powerful mantra to bring about happiness and joy and connect us to that energy. And it is said that whoever chants the Hanuman Chalisa 100 times reaches the highest happiness in life. I'll now pass over to Swami Vijay Shakti for meditation practice.
So you will be on this sadhana together, the yoga and happiness sadhana. We will be exploring a practice known as Hridayakash Dharana. Hridaya is the heart, Akash is space, and Dharana is concentration. These are Sanskrit terms. So it is concentration on the heart space. And this practice of Hridayakash Dharana is used to help us to connect with our inner self and with our inner state and our feeling state, because we can do other meditations, but this one we particularly chose to help us to connect with our feelings, our emotions, our sentiments, to purify that, balance that, and connect us with our inner heart, where our happiness resides, where our inner light resides. And it's said in the yogic scriptures that there is a light in this heart space, a tiny unflickering flame, unaffected by the winds of the world, desire, emotion, passion, And it's the real you. It represents, it's a symbolic representation of the real you, the spirit. And remember, we've been talking about happiness as our real self, our inner state, our natural state. So this practice connects us with our natural self and the connection with your inner spirit. Please get ready for the practice. Come into a comfortable seated position. Check that your spine, neck and head are aligned. Shoulders relaxed. The hands placed on the knees in a mudra of your choice, Gyan Mudra, Chin Mudra, or Hridaya Mudra if you know it. If you do not know Hridaya Mudra and you want to practice it, the index finger and middle finger are curled into the root of the thumb. The index finger is curled into the root of the thumb. The middle and ring fingers come to touch the tip of the thumb, and the little finger is loose. Okay? And you can place your hand on the knee. We will go through that mudra each week so that you can perfect it. Index finger is curled into the root of the thumb. Middle and ring finger are touching the tip of the thumb. Little finger is loose. Okay. Spine, neck and head are aligned, shoulders relaxed. You can gently close your eyes. And in this practice of Hridayakash Dharana, we generate intensity of feeling. You might find this easy or you might find it difficult. Either way, remain relaxed and at ease within yourself. Allow the body to come to total stillness. Relax yourself from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Allow the whole body to become still. Still, silent and steady. Mentally observe the position of the spine, the legs, arms, head, the entire body. If there's any tension or tightness, adjust your position so that you feel comfortable. Make any final adjustments now. Say to yourself mentally, I'm going to practice Hridayakash Dharana. Concentration on the heart space. Do not try to analyze or think about your experience in words before, during or after the practice. Make every effort to intensely feel and experience by being oblivious to everything around you now. There is nothing and nobody else right now. Develop this feeling of being completely alone within yourself, despite the fact that there may be many people or activities going on around you. Develop the feeling of solitude within. Now, within this inner solitude, become aware of the feeling of space, total awareness of the space within the body. Be aware of this space pervading the whole body. Now become aware of the region of the chest, from the shoulders to the diaphragm, from the sternum in the front to the center of the back between the shoulder blades. Be aware of the rib cage, of the heart beating, of the lungs. As you breathe in, feel this space expanding, and as you breathe out, feel this space contracting. Develop total awareness of the space contained within the chest, the heart space, Hridayakash. Feel the infinite space which is saturated with silence and stillness. In the space of the heart, which is enveloped in darkness, become aware of a tiny flame of light. See that flame of light internally. It is a flame of golden light. Intensify your awareness of the golden light. The flame of light in the space of the heart, known as Hridayakash. Be aware of the expansion and contraction of the breathing process and the rhythm of the heartbeat within this space. Visualize this flame of light in the region of the heart. See it brighten and fade to a glow. Brighten and fade to a glow. Become aware of the pulsation of that light. With each pulsation, the whole space fills up with light, and again, the light recedes to a glow. Experience this flame of light, brightening and fading, filling the entire being with luminosity. And as you observe this light filling your being, fading and brightening, notice how you feel. Be aware of your state of mind. Be aware of the peace, the silence and stillness within you. And now, let the image of the flame fade. Release your awareness of Hridayakash and notice how you feel. Know that this practice is coming to an end. Be aware of the time of day and the sounds and activities going on around you, and yourself sitting quietly and peacefully within the room. To close the meditation and to end our session today, we will chant the mantra Om together 3 times, followed by Om Shanti. Bring your awareness to Bhrumadhya, the eyebrow center, and visualize a flame here. Hold your awareness on that golden flame as we chant the mantra Om together 3 times. Breathe in deeply. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. You may practice palming, rub the palms vigorously together, generate heat in your hands, and when the hands are warm, place the warm palms over your eyes and feel the warmth soothing your eyes, soothing your face. And when you are ready, you may gently open your eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat.
So that concludes our second week. And this week we covered why we should choose happiness, why we can choose to smile. We looked at the gunas and how those three qualities are there for us and how we can become aware of them, and that our happiness resides in that sattvic state, and that all of the yoga practices are pushing us into that, guiding us into that sattvic state where we can access that contentment, that happiness within us. So for this week, your homework is to smile at a stranger every day, real smile with a twinkle in the eye, or to smile at someone who you've been really grumpy with lately, maybe someone you haven't spoken to, maybe the neighbor who annoys you. At least one time this week, give them a big smile and watch their reaction. Say, good morning, lovely to see you. Well, you don't have to go over the top. Give them a smile. And keep a note in your spiritual diary. I'll send out the spiritual diary questions with the recording tonight, and also that summary of the gunas, so you have that as reference. And well done again for coming and spending this hour of your busy lives with us to connect to happiness, and good on you, because it's a really important part of life. So congratulations for joining us, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you this time next week. So keep smiling, be happy, make the world a little brighter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Adios. See you
Very
soon. Adios. I'm waving to those girls.
The
Adios.
Italians.